Hello students, welcome back to this session on EMFT or electromagnetics. So we are going to start the electrostatics part, and today in this video we are going to see a very basic thing, that is the type of materials. So we have broadly classified the materials as conductor, insulators, then semiconductors, and at the last superconductors. So we are going to talk about all of these terminology. At last we will be talking about the conduction current and the convection current. I hope you all have gone through the previous videos. In the previous videos I have already talked about all of the mathematical operators that we are going to use in electrostatic and magnetostatic part. If you have still not watched the previous video on the mathematical part, so go through those fundamental things, because that fundamental thing is essential for all of the next units. Okay, so I hope you have gone through the previous videos now, and we are starting with the conductor. So first type of material is conductor. Okay, so we have an atom. What is this green portion inside the atom? This is the nucleus. Okay, so inside the atom we have nucleus. Okay, and in the various shells we have various electrons present in the atom. Okay, so let's suppose this is a shell here and we have various electrons present here. In the nucleus we have neutrons plus protons. So these are my electrons, and here we have protons plus neutrons. Okay, so I hope this thing is clear. All of us know about an atom. Okay, so here in the case of conductors, these electrons are very loosely held with the nucleus. Okay, they are free to move inside. So whenever we have more than one atom, so here we have a lot of atoms. Okay, so these many atoms I have, and the electrons are moving from one point to another freely. So this case is the case when we are talking about the conductors. Okay, so electrons is moving freely inside the conductor, or I can say we have very less resistance offered to the flow of electron, or I can say the conductivity is very high in the case of conductors. Now we will be talking about the second class of material, which are insulators. Okay, so what happens in the insulator? In the insulators, the electrons are so tightly held by the nucleus. There is so much attractive force. I have talked about the gravitational force and the electrostatic force. Okay, so because these are having some masses, so because of their masses, here we'll be having Fg, and because of their opposite charges, we have Fe as well. Okay, so now in the case of conductors, these two forces are so less that the electrons is free to move anywhere. Okay, but in the insulator the reverse happens. The electron cannot move anywhere. Okay, so I can say okay, so in the case of insulator, the electrostatic force and the gravitational force is much higher than the electrostatic force and the gravitational force of the conductor, because of which the electrons are very tightly held. Okay, so now if I have to classify them in the terms of resistivity, there is a very high resistivity in the case of insulators. Okay, or I can say the conductivity is very less in the case of insulators. Now coming to the third class of material, which is semiconductors. Okay, so what happens in the case of semiconductors? Semiconductors are actually a special type of material which are at the 0 Kelvin, they are working as an insulator. Okay, at the 0 Kelvin, they are offering very high resistance, but if I increase the temperature, they will start exhibiting the properties of the conductor. Okay, so let's talk about some examples. In the conductor, we have aluminium, we have copper. In the case of insulators, we have air, we have glass. In the case of semiconductor, we have silicon, we have germanium. So I hope all of these things are clear. Okay, now coming to a special type of material which are superconductors. Okay, so generally what happens, as we decrease the temperature, the resistance increase. But in the case of superconductors, what happens, if we are decreasing the temperature, the resistivity will decrease. And what type of graph it will be having? Okay, so this is the type of graph that is followed by the superconductors. So if I am decreasing the temperature, resistance is decreasing, and at a certain temperature the resistance is becoming 0. What does it mean? If I am supplying current to a semiconductor material, the current will remain there for infinite time. Okay, here we have losses. In the case of conductor, there will be some losses due to the collision of electrons. So due to the collision, the heat energy will be produced and will be having some losses in the form of heat energy. In the case of insulators, in the case of semiconductor, in all of them we have some losses, but here at a certain temperature the losses are 0. So this is the property of the superconductor. Okay, so now if I have to give you an example, so mercury at 4.2 Kelvin is behaving as a superconductor. Okay, so this temperature is really less and we cannot have practical applications with this temperature. But let me tell you, we have superconductors developed now at very high temperatures as well. And now we are researching for the superconductors at the room temperature. Okay, so I hope you understood the superconductors. Here the losses are 0 and the current will remain forever. Okay, so we'll be having approximately 0 heat losses in the case of superconductor. So this is the beauty of the superconductors. Okay, so I hope now you understood all of the types of material. Now I will be moving towards the current. So we have the conduction current. Okay, so now I have already told you about the conductor. So let's suppose this is my conductor. Okay, so this is my conductor. Okay, and if I am applying some external electric field E on this conductor, so what will happen? The conductor will be having various free electrons, and these free electrons will be starting moving with the help of this electric field. So whenever there is some electric field, external electric field applied on the conductor, so this is my conductor. So here the electrons will be flowing in the reverse direction of the electric field. So here inside will be having some E dash developed. Why? Because here we have electrons. These electrons are coming and accumulating at this edge of the conductor. Now what is happening? All of the protons are moving in this direction and they are accumulating here. Okay, so now here we have this positive charge and this negative charge. So we have opposite charges, due to which we have here E dash generated. So this is my E dash. Now these electrons will continue moving this side and the protons will continue moving this side until E dash will become equal to E. As soon as E dash will become equal to E, this process will stop and we'll be having zero electric field inside the conductor. So E is equal to 0. Inside the conductor, whatever electric field is there, there will be at the outward direction of the conductor. So I hope now you understood how a conductor will behave on the application of the electric field. Now what is conduction current? So the current produced due to this external electric field in the conductors is the conduction current. Okay, so I hope this thing is clear. What is conduction current? We have external electric field. Due to this external electric field, our electrons are moving in the opposite direction of the external electric field, and due to the movement of electrons, a current is produced, that is conduction current. Now convection current. So convection current is actually produced in the case of insulators. Okay, so you know now that insulator have very high forces and it is not allowing its electrons to move with the help of external electric field. So obviously the convection current will not be there due to the external electric field. So there will be some movement of the charges, due to which we'll be having the convection current. Like I will give you an example of the lightning. So in lightning, the charges are moving in the downward direction from the sky, and what is there in the medium? We have air. Okay, so air is insulator. Okay, so I hope now you understood the insulators are also termed as dielectrics. Okay, so whenever we have some current in the dielectric material and whenever we are seeing this current as the function of velocity of the charges. Okay, so here what was the current? Current was dependent upon the electric field. Here the current is dependent upon the charge velocity in the insulator. So this is how convection current and conduction current are different. Now we have one more type of current, that is drift current, and we will be talking about it later on in some later videos. So here I will be concluding my session. I hope you will be soon meeting me in the next session. It is going to be a really interesting one. So I hope really soon we are meeting again. Thank you so much, and I hope you will be liking this video, commenting on it and sharing it with your friends, and also subscribing this channel. Thank you so much once again.